We're going.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously the first of our little non-league chat shows we're looking at doing.
Yeah, man.
So I'm Ian Davis. A bit of an intro about myself. I've been playing Step 5 football or above for I've done 18 seasons now. That's going to my 19th season when we all get back going again. So around the block a little bit. More clubs than Tiger Woods, but there's level. But yeah, been centre forward all the time. I must have had about 3 appearances wide right, and that's about it. Scored a few goals, won a few promotions, won a few cups. But yeah, been at that level for most of my career. Currently at
fair, mate. I see a lovely little photo of you the other day with your long locks. What happened there?
Yeah, that's where it started. So that was around the time of when Beckham had his long hair.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of like went for that look.
I get you.
Yeah.
Was that like 2003 Real Madrid season? That's good one, I think.
Yeah. Well, I made my debut 2001. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, those locks started growing around that sort of time. Thought I played like him. Never got on a free kick in my life.
Not even tried one, though?
No, do you know, to be fair, I've had one in a friendly.
Yeah.
One in a friendly. And I must have had a handful in like league games and stuff. But yeah, never hit the target.
Score enough goals as it is, mate. Don't you know what I mean? Let the others take them.
A few tap-ins.
Happy days.
Yeah, a few own goals I've played for myself.
Yeah, got to take what you got to take, mate.
That's it. How about yourself? So where did you start?
Well, obviously, still quite young now, so I'm still only like 25, but kind of just played locals in and out of like academies like Portsmouth, Southampton and stuff when I was like real young, and then I got brought into Bournemouth for under 16s, so I was really late into the system. Really, the rest of the boys have been there for a long time. Went on, obviously signed scholar, signed pro. Obviously, was there for quite a long time. It was almost like a second home. Obviously, started on the big blaze that they had. Obviously, we're getting promoted after promoted, so that was obviously a good experience and that really as well. Being around the club at the time, seeing it go from like almost bust to sort of where it is now is unbelievable. Like when you look at it. So kind of started off there really. Obviously, had a couple of like loans and little things into non-league and stuff. Good ones, bad ones for different reasons, and then just sort of dropped out really. Didn't really get much help when I left. We're trying to sort something out. But yeah, just dropped out, kind of had to go out on my own, was a bit lost really, and just dabbled around like non-league at times, sort of between the conference and the Conference South. Had the chance to go out to America and play in the NASL out there, but that kind of fell through, but I'll touch on that at another time really. And yeah, so now just sort of playing Conference South quite regularly really. Sort of went full-time again with Dulwich this year to try and then push on, and just sort of dabbling in that, to be fair. So obviously still got ambitions to get myself back up. I'll always back myself to do that. So it's just about timing and sometimes that little bit of luck really. So so just been doing that really, mate. Played a couple of different positions. Used to be centre half, then got moved to right back because the manager at the time felt that it suited me better being sort of athletic and can get up and down, fit, and my passing and stuff like that. So moved there. And then then I was at Bath, and we played Poole Town, and three of us at midfielders got injured all in the first half. So all 3 of our midfielders. So they were like, I played one game against Bristol Rovers in there in pre-season, done really well, got man of the match, scored. And they went, we'll play him in there. And before I know it, I'm playing like 18 games in the middle of midfield. So now apparently I can play there. So I'm dipped as a versatile player at the moment. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
Utility man, that's what they're called in my day.
Yeah, that sort of non-league James Milner, I think, but with a little bit more of a agile, I suppose. A bit more about him, I think. But yeah, so obviously that can be a good thing and a bad thing in a way. Like you can either cement one place. You can either play every week because you know that you're trusted and you're backed, or because you're never in one position all the time, you then sometimes struggle to cement that place and you just kind of fill in. And so it depends on the manager. Like I said, it depends on the manager. My manager at Bath, it didn't matter where I was going to play, I always knew I was going to play. And I had a really good time there because I had that confidence. So no, it was good. It was good.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Confidence is huge, and I think it's if you can play with confidence, and you've got the confidence of the coach as well, you'll have some of your best performances there,
100%.
whatever level you're playing at.
You just start enjoying football though.
Yeah,
You just start enjoying it even more, and you end up producing better without even sort of trying to, because you know that you can just go out there. You're not constantly worrying about whether, oh, if I have a bad game, I'm not going to play the next one. And you literally go out there, you just smash it, and you just feel, like I said, even if you're not confident in yourself as a person, you feel the energy from other people, and it makes you feel good. And even if while you're on the pitch, it just makes you feel so much better, and you just almost try and do things that maybe you wouldn't try if you was low on confidence, and you're willing to take those risks. And I think having a manager that allows you to take sometimes risks depending on your position and stuff is again is something that's really important, especially from a young age coming forward and stuff while you're still learning, so yeah, 100%.
Definitely. So what are some of your best memories then? Like, have you got a gaffer that you worked under that you think, if I had an opportunity to work under him again, I'd jump at the chance?
Yeah, I think obviously everyone sort of thinks that when like the questions like I get asked, it's straight away I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, Eddie Howe, and don't get me wrong, as good as Eddie was, I think the success at the club at the time was kind of, it ruined a couple of the young lads' chances in a way, because there was so much success in such a short period. It was hard for myself and even the other young lads to sort of be given a chance, because we got promoted. Then before you know it, you've now got to be at another level before you get in, and then there's more money coming into the club, and they can get people right here, right now. So, whereas at the beginning, before we come back, there wasn't much money, the managing stuff. So for me, I worked with a guy called Jason Blake, under 16s, unbelievable guy. Like, had so much time for me. I almost felt like I was just loved. So I had a really good year with him. He then moved on to Burnley, and I think he's now over in sort of Canada, coaching and stuff now. So he was really good. And then a couple really. There's a guy called Sean Brooks and Paul Groves, who were my youth team managers at the time at Bournemouth. Then they actually got the first team job when I went as a first year pro. So that was huge for me. When they first got the job, I was obviously a first year. I was in with the first team all the time, training. I was involved. So that was a really, really big thing for me. And then sort of in like non-league, I'd probably say, I'm trying to think. Probably one of my better ones would have been the guy called Gary Hours, who again was the guy at Bath. So like I said about, just gave me all that confidence really. He then moved on from Bath to Torquay, and he's now working for the National League, sort of going around and doing bits for them. But yeah, he was really good for me. Even little things like, some people like it, some people don't. But I used to enjoy, obviously, he put bits in the paper. So if someone was doing well, he would actually go out of his way to make sure that it was noted. So, he put little bits in the paper. And when you see that sort of stuff and you're getting that recognition, it only boosts your confidence and makes you feel better, and you feel more comfortable. So, and you're enjoying your football. So you want to be there, and naturally you play your best football. So yeah, I'd say them three really are quite big. And obviously, yeah, don't get me wrong, Eddie Howe had a massive influence as well, just even the short time I had with him. And he's obviously gone on to do unbelievable things.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple of people that aren't involved in clubs and stuff that I played a big part in myself as well, and a couple other lads. So they've been a massive part really as well. So yeah, that's about that really. They've been good.
Good man.
What about you?
Yeah. So when I was playing youth team for Thatcham, I got it was Neil Baker gave me my first team shout, but the youth team manager,
as in the geezer at Slough.
No, different Neil Baker.
Oh, okay.
The geezer at Slough was still playing then.
Oh, boy. I know Bates as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's a guy called Jason Braywood. He was my youth team manager, but he eventually got the first team job as well. And kind of having a youth team manager be your first team manager when you played like in the same team for a little while, he gives you a lot of confidence. And I learned a lot. Not just
you see that pathway,
Yeah, and we had a lot of senior players that kind of helped us out on that side, but then there's a lot of young players coming through as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, Richard Witt, Tom Menadu, Gareth Thomas, all of those guys I played. Well, Whitty, I played county representative football with him, not youth football, but the other two I played youth football with at Thatcham. And then to see us all come through and play first team football, Whitty, I played again with later on at Marlow, got promoted together. And kind of you don't realise how good a youth team you've got until you kind of see how many of these players come through. Like the likes of
100%.
Tom and Gareth, they made it to Wembley in the Vars final with Thatcham. Tom actually captained the side. And they've both gone on to have like really good careers, still playing now as well.
Wow, that's decent. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, those early years in Thatcham were great. And then post Thatcham, you're always going to remember the sides that you win trophies with. So, Tally at Binfield, Mark Barley at Marlow, very different coaches, but very good in their own way.
Yeah, of course.
Tally was always good at getting good players in. And Bart's knows a lot of players, but I was always more impressed with his management style. And he's very good at getting clear instructions across, but concisely. Like, he wouldn't confuse anything. He just made it clear, this is what I want. And if you ain't going to do it, I'll get someone who will. Harsh, but he got the players he wanted, and that's why he's doing so well. He's still at Marlow,
Yeah, I think he's been there for a couple of years, hasn't he? Quite a while.
More than, well, it was his first year there when we got promoted in 2013. So give you some idea.
About 7, 8 years, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's unheard of now, especially in like football. Managers staying at clubs for a long time. It's so easy. So obviously, it's a massive testament to someone if they are there for that long. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
definitely.
So, yeah, that's cool.
But I got a young coach now at Ascot, Jamie Tompkins. He's a very good coach as well. He likes playing like younger players. Again, I think his background's in youth football anyway, so he's coached a lot of youngsters and he's prepared to give them a chance. We've got some good players there, and it's weird how, just talking then about how we had some good senior players to help us through, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, I'm the senior player.
Yeah, mate, it's crazy, isn't it? I'm on my way. I mean, do young v old in training. I don't know where I'm at now.
You're that one. You're kind of in between, mate. You've been the old ours.
Would I? Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
That's crazy.
I think 25-year-olds are like guaranteed Oldens in training now.
Yeah, it's mad. I think as well though, like, because you're seeing more and more people sort of like, you look at Frank Lampard at Chelsea, Solskjaer at United, and like even people like Sancho going away to Dortmund. I think because even at the top of the level, you're seeing more and more youngsters get given a chance now. Yeah. I think that then is filtering down as well into like non-league, and then also you've got to look at the other side of things. If at certain levels people don't have a big budget, then they're going to have to. They're almost forced into taking this chance on young players. Obviously a friend of mine is at Tadley. Now, their budget, wasn't very big whatsoever. It's his first job. To begin with, he was really reluctant, but he had no choice because the money wasn't great at that level. Maybe football's just like still a hobby for some people. The commitment wasn't necessarily there from some people, so he's had people come and go, and and eventually he kind of found a good, happy medium where he had a couple of the older lads, a lot of young lads. But with the young lads, what you get is people that want to prove a point, that want to thrive, to push and be better, and that, say, £40, for example, is actually a lot of money for them. It's something. So I feel like, I think sometimes it can be forced upon people, but at the same time, I think because it's coming from the top as well, it kind of just is like a blueprint, really. And it's that big thing now. Everyone's like, give the kids a chance. Why not? If you don't give them a chance, where do you think you're going to go? It's just going to not play. So if you want to have people in like a couple of years' time, you're going to have to give these kids a chance, really. Yeah,
exactly. I think it's the same throughout football. Obviously, the paycheck is different depending on what level you're playing at. Essentially, you've got the same thing going on. The teams at the top will always have more money. Teams at the bottom will be struggling financially compared to the other teams. And it's a balancing act for everyone. And I think the guys that do play the kids, you'll find them at all levels, but everyone needs a chance, and if you're a youngster at this level, it might be worth dropping down a league or two to get yourself a game.
100%. I think that's a massive thing as well. So even like to young lads that I talk to now, we have a couple at Dulwich, like unbelievable talent, some of them, like really, really good. Like they could go on and get moves into the pro game and stuff, especially now because that's happening more and more every year. But they were always worried because they were like, I'm not playing games, I want to play games. And I said, look, listen, like, with all due respect, we've got a really good team here. It's going to be hard for you to get in it. You're here, you're training with us every day. Like, if I was you, I'd get yourself out on loan. then they were like, yeah, but where would I go? And I said, well, if you can go to League Below, that's great. I said, but realistically, it does not matter because you just need to be out there playing games. One of them was a winger, one was a midfielder. I said, if you're a winger, you're out there, you're getting 12 assists, 14 goals, for example, in a season, your first year. I said, mate, like, with all respect, forget, say, where we're at now. That gets attention from the people. I start thinking, oh, who's this kid? And then the name starts circulating that they say 18-year-old young lad is doing really well. So whereas you can stay here and train and train and train, and yeah, great, I'm at Dulwich Hamlet with a Conference South, and we got to the first round of the FA Cup. It's amazing, but realistically, all you are, and I think Brendan Rodgers did it at Celtic. He said, "You're not a player. You train with the club. You don't play games until you've played X amount of games. You just train with us." So it's all well and good training with those good people, but it's the games that are really going to push you and stuff. So I said to him, like, you can be here, train like all week, so you're always in and around the good players and stuff like that. But go out and play games, so you're putting your training into practice, and then that helps you develop even with us, and then it gives you more and more of a chance to knock on the door when it comes to a time where maybe you might get a shot.
Yeah.
And obviously they went on, to be fair, and later on in the season they end up actually doing that. And you know, everyone was like, yeah, it's so much better waking up on a Saturday knowing that I've got a game rather than waking up on a Saturday going to the game but knowing I'm not going to be in the squad, you know. So 100%.
You got to get kind of your experience in men's football as soon as you can. There's a really good 100%. Example actually, lad I know called Dan Roberts, who
Slough.
Yeah, so he was at Bracknell Town, and you know, he's a young lad there, still playing youth team football, and he was on the fringes of the squad. So much talent, you could see it in training.
Yeah.
But you know, he was still a kid.
Absolute road runner, mate.
Yeah, still had to learn.
Stop running.
Yeah, but he still had to learn the men's game, and he couldn't get into the Bracknell side. And they were step 4 at the time, so he dropped back down to step 5, played for Windsor, and had a brilliant. Scored a lot of goals. And then Slough snapped him up. You know,
I mean, sometimes you've got to do that. You've got to take that one step back and excel 2 steps forward. I played against him. I played against him, and I've seen him play a couple of times when I've watched my friends. I've got people that play at Slough, and man, like the kid just don't stop running. And with all respect, like he could be the worst striker in the world, but for a defender, he'd be so horrible to mark because just like that Carlos Tevez, Tevez mold in a way, like doesn't necessarily possess loads of ability, for example, but just is an absolute workhorse and will always reap the benefits from his sheer hard work. And obviously, I'm not saying that he's not a good player. I'm just saying that as an example. But I've come across him, to be fair, and obviously that was a little bit of a non-league story-ish as well because he come from nowhere, and I think even like last game, I think he scored a hat-trick, so he's obviously now doing really well at Slough. So fair play to him.
Yeah, I mean, he looks more than capable of that level, you know, and there'll be people at our level saying that he wouldn't be good enough, but you know, he's giving it a go, he's giving it a shot, and he's just put himself out there, and that's.
But again, if you don't try, you never know. Do you know what I mean? Like if he didn't go to Windsor, if he just sat at Bracknell thinking I'm at Bracknell Town and blah blah, I don't want to drop down a level, then he'd never be where he is now. So yeah, I think as well it comes down to a lot about your mindset, your mentality as well. You know, because he could have stayed at Bracknell for 3-4 years, played the odd game here or there. Before he knows it, he's 4 years older. And then he's having to drop down, and then he's not a young lad, so maybe they don't take him on. You know what I mean? So 100%.
Exactly. While we're on the subject of non-league, we got to bring this one up now. Yeah. So this is a sensitive subject for me.
Anyway, I don't know what you're going to say before you even say it.
FA have decided to cancel the season, steps 3 to 7. But they're still prepared to go steps, Premier League.
My league.
2. So you obviously been in Conference South then. So what have you guys been told? What's kind of the latest?
So from that way we are, obviously we had a big sort of wage meeting last week with the club. But that's a bit private, so I won't really divulge into that really. But yeah, so we got told in that meeting that basically the league's suspended, so it's not finished, it's suspended. So essentially that could mean that they could end up going, right lad, in 2 weeks' time you're going to start your season again. So we at the moment still don't know, but I think realistically we ain't going to play another game this year. I think, if I'm being honest, I think it's probably because National League are trying to obviously align themselves with the EFL and the Premier League and stuff. But I also think it's probably coming down to the bits and pieces about what do they do? Do they promote teams? Do they null and void the season? Do they? Because you've probably got to think, if you take away football, there's still going to be loads of legal battles, which is unfortunate, but it's going to happen because no matter what they decide, someone's going to be annoyed, So we've just been told that at this moment in time, the league's still active in a way, but it's null and void. It's not null and void. It's still active, but it's suspended. But realistically, we're not going to play another game this season. There has been talk that we might go back sort of end of May and literally try and cram a lot in June, the whole rest of the month in June, and then obviously have maybe 2 weeks away, and then we're then back in pre-season for July, ready for August, and use this period now as like our summer. So, but man, it's like everything. You're hearing so many stories. You never know really what's true. So we've just been told that when the gaffer finds out, we'll find out really. Yeah. So at the moment, it's even hard for us because you'll have some boys chilling, like just thinking, no chance I'm going to be playing again, and they'll just be like trying to enjoy their time off. And then you get people like say myself who are just, if I might go back, so I need to make sure I'm ready when I go back. But even if I don't go back, I may as well put a bit of graft in and improve myself anyway. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at this moment in time in regards to the actual league. So yeah, it's difficult because you'd rather they just make a decision.
Yeah.
But I think they've only I think the only reason why they haven't made a decision is because they're trying to work out what they do in regards to promotions, relegations, and stuff like that. Really, what you don't want to do is say the whole season null and void, and a team like Willstone in my league who've been top of the table the whole season, absolutely flying, like by far deserve to go up, don't go up, and then they're going to be like, well, hold on a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I think
we've had examples of that in our season. So we've been top of the league for, I think we've spent something like 4 or 5 weeks where we haven't been top of the league. Other than that, we've spent the rest of the season top of the league.
Majority, yeah.
Currently 9 points clear. But you go a league below us, a team called Jersey Bulls, won every single one of their games this season.
Yeah.
Mathematically already promoted.
Yeah.
And the season's null and void.
Oh, yeah, that's a killer, isn't it?
So
I think as well, with the null and void, they're not even like reimbursing stuff like booking, suspensions or anything, are they? No. So it's almost like, in a way, you're saying it's null and void, but you're saying, but I've still been booked. But if it's null and void, no games that ever happen. My goals, like your goals this season, don't count on record. You'll still count them, obviously, but they don't count on record. But your yellow cards do. I don't know how that sort of works out, really.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they say on that. But all we've been told is season's finished, and then we found out a few weeks later that it was going to go either points per game or null and void. And then a few days after that, they went for the null and void. And their argument for that is there'll be teams that on the points per game will be outside of the relegation zone, would then drop back in. But don't worry about the teams that are top of the league. Just
with respect, there's going to be, mate. Like realistically, if we're being honest, no matter what decision they make, whether they continue the season null and void points per game, somebody somewhere is not going to be happy. Do you know what I mean? So, like for example, null and void in the season, the teams that are in the relegation zone are absolutely buzzing because they're not getting relegated; they can stay in the same league. And then teams like yourself are struggling because obviously they're not able to get promoted when they deserve to. Just put that. So thank you. So so it's not fair. I mean, I think it's better to reward those that have been doing well this year, unlike rewarding those that have been really struggling. So I think like Hungerford in my league, they've been bottom all year pretty much. And I think they basically were geared up to get relegated. I think for the club it would have been a good thing as well because they've been in the league for a couple of years. It's been really bad. They've not really, it's just been a bad vibe around the place. So actually getting relegated for them is similar to what we're saying about Dan Roberts. Go back a step. Do you know what I mean? Start again. Maybe get new players in. Get that feel-good factor around the club again. Build that positive environment to then maybe get promoted. But they now can't. So then they're looking at maybe going into next year again, having to have this maybe negative feel around the club where it's difficult and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'd have much preferred even though it doesn't affect me. I would have much preferred they rewarded the teams that have done well this year
Yeah.
Than the teams that essentially haven't.
Yeah.
So
From what I
they
can
got a
understand,
get out of jail free fee.
yeah, from what I can understand, that's the general feel. Like you want to, encourage teams to do well. So look after teams that have done well, not the teams that are struggling. There's another example, kind of closer to our level. So Step 4 Wantage have got, I think they got 4 points all season.
Yeah, I played against Wantage before. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So
and they stay up. How's that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean, and that's the thing. They probably want to come down. They probably can't afford to stay at that level that they're at.
That's what I mean. Yeah, no, exactly that, 100%. Because the wages, especially if they drop down, the wages get lower, so it maybe becomes more realistic, or it becomes now maybe where it's a low wage budget in the league they're in, it could be a big budget in the league below. So, 100%, like even for teams just to be sustainable, if you're constantly losing every week, you're not getting no crowd in. If you go down the league, you know what it's like. Even if you're in a league lower, but you're winning all the time, people are going to come through the door. So. Yeah, I mean, it's going to have, I think, big ramifications on a lot of people. Because even say like someone like Ascot, for example, I mean, I don't know, but you get some clubs, they really pump a lot of money in because they really want to go for the league that year. To then get promoted, they obviously get the financial benefits from that, from either bigger crowds, better teams, etc., etc. So say, for example, you guys done that this year, and then you get told you smashed the year, you deserve to go up, but you can't. Well, all of a sudden now, your budget now might be ridiculously low next year because you didn't reap the benefits of getting promoted.
Yeah.
So it can have massive implications, really.
Yeah, I don't know specifically with Ascot, like the financial side of things, but there will be clubs that are in that situation for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, Jersey Bulls, like flying teams all over the place just to come and play against them. That kind of been cheap, and they'd have been geared up.
Who's that? Sorry,
Jersey Bulls. So that's
yeah. I think what league are they in?
They're Ryman League. Div 1. They're supposed to come to Prem.
I don't know them.
But basically,
there's Guernsey as well, though, isn't there? They're in like Ryman Div 1. My friend.
They've done the same thing. They had to work their way through the leagues, flying teams around. But and it's not cheap.
No, 100%, 100%.
It'd be interesting to see what happens. I suppose more from my perspective as well is what happens with the program. So let's say the season continues in a few months' time.
Yeah.
So now
you have an unbelievable summer off.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing. But now you've got you've got teams that are carrying on, and then other teams that have been told their season's done. So now you're treating people differently. But it's still the same sport, the same competitions.
Yeah, I get you.
Or if they say like, okay, the season's finished, you got Liverpool who are close to winning the league, and they'll say, all right, it's points per game. Yeah, we've got to give you the trophy. We can't say you're not. Okay, if you're going to do that for the Premier League, then surely that's got to filter down.
You've got to do it for everyone now. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I can't lie to you. My best mate's a Liverpool fan, and he's not stopped going on to me all year. And I'm like, please. And the worst thing is, right, when this coronavirus thing first come out, but with the games that were still being played, I said, wait, imagine if this virus actually stops you lot winning the league. And he goes, mate, I think if that happens, I'm just going to give up. He's like, I'm just going to give up on football. And I was like, obviously, we played like a joke about it. And now looking at it, mate, it's it's ridiculously realistic that could happen.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's not then fair. But then the problem that you do have is and this is where no matter what they say, it's not going to make a difference because some teams like Braintree, for example, obviously I'm going back to my league, but they've been out of the relegation zone pretty much all year. The game that we had to play in my league, when all the EFL, all the Premier League, all the leagues below us were all called off. We were literally the only 3 leagues in the whole of the UK that were playing. They lost that game. They dropped into the relegation zone after that game.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, well, hold on a minute. Like, we've got, say, a game in hand on the team above us, and we're 1 point behind them. So if we win our game in hand, we would actually be out because then that's a fair playing field. We've all played the same amount of games. And it can be the same with, say, someone at the top. Someone could be second, play a game less. And so they'd be like, how can you make that sort of decision? So it is, to be fair, I don't envy the FA and the National League, and I don't envy them whatsoever because it must be such a hard decision. Yeah. But I think the problem that's happening now is it's just longing out for so long. People just want to know one way or another.
Yeah.
And 100%, if you are going to do, say, points per game for Liverpool, you have to do points per game across the whole board. Because just because it's Liverpool doesn't make, that's great. They're a big club. But what about those little clubs like Ascot and all the rest of it that actually this is a really big deal to? Don't get me wrong, yeah, it's great for Liverpool, but financially they're still unbelievably wealthy. But for someone like Ascot, what an achievement to get promoted. They might never ever play that league again. You might now go at Ascot, say, for the next 25, 30 years and never ever get close to getting promoted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you should have, so 100%, it's going to have impact on like the history of clubs, the financial side of things, and even just the feel factor.
Yeah.
You know, people like the team you had this year could have been your team next year. You might lose all that team now. Do you know what I mean? Because they've done so well this year, the teams above might go, oh, we'll poach them. Do you know what I mean? So it's bad. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's horrible.
Tough one. Yeah, I agree with it. It's such a difficult decision to make. I do feel like they've rushed it. You know, like if you can suspend some of them, you can suspend all of it. And for me, they're so precious about next season. Like we don't know when it's going to start. So this season is currently, well, obviously not for us, but assume we're everything's been suspended. The season's still going, so we can finish that season, and then because everyone's at a level playing field next season, worry about next season when we know where we are. But
I think
preempt it now.
Rooney come out a while ago and said, like, let's be honest, because obviously he's talking more about the high level, right? He said, let's be honest, right? He said, the World Cup is in 2 years' time. So obviously, ridiculously, we've got the Euros next year and we've got the World Cup straight after. So we don't even know what's going to happen with the World Cup qualifiers. But that's not for me to worry about. I mean, that's the top of the game. But he said, why not finish this season, even if it means we start this season again in August, for example, finish this season and then do almost like what they do in America. And they go, like, literally the year round is the season rather than across 2 years.
Yeah.
And then that fills us straight into the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when we finish, say, in November, the World Cup starts in, say, December, for example, we're now, do you know what I mean? So it's almost like maybe it's time for a change of how it works. And then also, I guess what you do get is you also make sure that there's no sort of like waterlogged, you know, but that was a potential idea that he said. And I thought, even in a way, that kind of makes sense a little bit. Yeah. And then at one point, maybe just have an extra long break and then you get back to normal, as it were. But you know, it's going to take time. Even businesses are going to take ages to get back to normal. So if it have to happen with football, then you know, these things have got to happen, I suppose. But
exactly. You know,
no matter what there is, there's always going to be ramifications. So they just need to make their mind up, in my opinion.
I think that could work really well. You know, if the World Cup's winter, so you could bring the Euros in line with the World Cup, finish the season, play your Euros, and then you're in line with that. You know what? It could work for the better. We could find that actually playing throughout the year and having a break in the winter might actually be better anyway. You know, less games would be starters.
100%. I think the only downside to like stuff like the Euros and that, if we're talking top level, is obviously you then got to think like, what about Spain, Italy, and France, and all them? Like they're still going to be, do you know what I mean, normal. And then you talk about what you said earlier about level playing field and stuff. So even like us talking about now, think about how many different things that we've said that could happen or might happen, but then the ramifications and the positive. They've got to do all of that, and there's probably so much more. Do you know what I mean? When they're just having conversations, but I think a massive part of it is down to like legal stuff. I think what they don't want to do is be sued or have to go to court, just all that nonsense. Because there'll always be someone out there that will go, no, this isn't fair. Bang! There'll always be someone. So it's just unfortunately, it's just the sort of society we live in, really. Like if a club, like say, can sue them and get, say, I don't know, 100 grand. There you go. That's 100 grand into your club. That's 100 grand into your budget. Do you know what I mean? So someone's always going to try, I think. But yeah, I don't envy them whatsoever. But it's horrible to be just sat in limbo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but there's two arguments to that. Like, I'd rather be in your position, sat in limbo, rather than where I am, where I've been told the season's done, there's nothing you can do about it, even if you're sat on top of the league.
Yeah, but I guess in a way that you have that clarity, and like all the teams in your level now can start building for next year, if that makes sense. In a way.
You say that, but no one knows when it's going to finish. So we're still in limbo in that sense. So just hold fire for everyone. That's my...
Yeah, I do think they rushed it. I just think, the FA should have just made one big ruling across the whole board, rather than, like you said, you've got some leagues doing one bit, some leagues doing this, some leagues doing that. Yeah. Even when it come down to us playing that one extra game and everybody else, the FA should have gone, no, it's ridiculous. Premier League's not even on. Like, the teams that get 100 fans aren't even on. So why the hell are we going to have, like, the clubs that are getting 1,000, 2,000? Doesn't, like, no, nobody's playing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know what it's like, mate. There's always politics and ulterior motives and incentives behind absolutely everything that ever happens in business. Even though football is football, there's still a business end to it. So, you know, it's unfortunately just is what it is. You know, sometimes you don't have the football people involved in those levels, I suppose.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And it would be interesting to see if anyone does end up watching this and they've got a bit more info on it. It'd be interesting to see if they can.
Someone's gonna just tag in the FA, mate. When they get in trouble, we get some in conjunction or something going on. But it'll be all right. It'll be all right. I think. Yeah, like I said, it's just like I said to you, mate. It's the start. We're just talking. We just touched on a couple of things. You know, just keep doing what we're doing. We speak to a couple of other people and just go from there. Even I think a massive thing would be like even making this like live. And actually, like you can do it two ways. We can do one where we do it like this, or we get like one guest on, or whatever. Or you can do it where we get like, if you want to listen, tune in, bang, 3 o'clock, like almost like your own little talk show. I mean, you get tune in 3 p.m. every Tuesday. I don't know what's day today, Sunday. So every Sunday 2 p.m. everyone tune in. If you want to come and get involved and have the debate and speak, well, come in. Do you know what I mean? We get 40 people in. Do you know what I mean? We're all talking, we're all sharing, and you know what I mean? We're going from there.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
So yeah, man.
We'll do that. Right. Next one we'll do. We'll do another one in the future. We'll sort it out. But I'll ask you to see who best player you've ever played with. That'll be
I've ever played with.
Yeah, for next time.
But now.
No,
next time.
Next time.